Hi, my name is Chris, and this is video number 15 for Networks and Data Security. I've started to notice a trend here that the topics for these videos are becoming more and more like directives and more than topics. They all started off real nice and pleasant, and identify this, describe that, and that's all good. But now we're up to adhere to ethical principles and standards. I don't really know where to go with this, but I'm going to give it a shot. All right, adhere to, I'm just going to read this, I don't care, you can tell. Adhere to a personal ethical standard to protect sensitive information when a trade-off has been made between security and ease of use. Personal ethical standards. What kind of trade-off are we talking about exactly? I mean, a trade-off between security and ease of use. Are we talking about the sacrifice of security to make things easier for a user? Is that the kind of trade-off we're talking about here? I mean, because as a user, you'll likely have access to a lot of personal information about a person. So account information, financial information, their name, address, phone number, blood type, firstborn, whatever. It is easier to send required data through a familiar format. Familiar, I mean, by email. Somebody asks you for a specific file, or hey, I need the results of this database query, or hey, can you send me the report on that? Sure, you fire it off in an email, no problem. But was it secured? Was it encrypted? Did you even have the privilege and right to send that information anywhere? These are things that you need to try and keep in mind when you're conducting business. Just because it's easy to do doesn't make it the right thing to do. And there will be times when time is an issue, when you are under a deadline, when you're in a rush to get things done. Doing what's easy may get it done on time, but it always comes with a risk. Now, one of those most common ethical standards are NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. This is your signed agreement to the criteria and regulations that are contained in the NDA. Typically, this covers things like not talking about company secrets or disclosing them, not disclosing or distributing or demonstrating programs that are in their alpha stages or beta stages. This covers things like the financial information, the internal correspondence of a company, like leaking all 835 emails sent this week, for example. Which leads us to the Health Information Protection Act, or HIPAA. HIPAA is an amendment to the Personal Health Information Protection Act, or FIPA, circa 2004. Now, the included amendments in HIPAA are mandatory privacy breach reporting to the Information and Privacy Commissioner, and in certain circumstances, to relevant regulatory colleges. Removing the requirement under FIPA that prosecutions must be commenced within 6 months of when the alleged offense occurred, which allows for a broader range of liability, and doubling the maximum fines for privacy offenses from $50,000 to $100,000 for individuals, and from $250,000 to $500,000 for organizations. Now, that being said, ethical guidelines should be the basis of any business or just any interaction in a day-to-day for anybody and everybody. You know who has ethical guidelines? Hackers. Now, of all the various types of hats that hackers wear, I'm going to cover the 3 basic ones: black, gray, and white. Black hats are crackers. These are the ones that you usually hear about in the news, the most destructive. These are the ones that target businesses with weak security or with holes that can be exploited. These are the ones responsible for data breaches and leaks. They take personal information and they sell it online. Next up are the gray hats. They don't steal information or money like the black hats do, but they also aren't helpful like the white hats are. These are the ones that are usually just out there kind of messing with stuff, having fun. They are aware of exploits and make use of them just to poke at systems, just to play around, so to speak. Nothing destructive. They may deface a website, that kind of thing, the odd time, but otherwise they aren't out to cause serious harm. And lastly, the white hats. Now, these are the ethical hackers. They're good guys, so to speak. White hats are typically helpful. They'll help you solve problems with your own systems, remove viruses and that sort of thing. But a lot of times they work for security companies. White hats are the ones that identify holes and vulnerabilities, don't make use of them. They help companies secure against them. And more often than not, white hats actually have some form of security related qualification. They're typically an offensive security certified professional or a CREST certified infrastructure tester or CREST certified application security tester. More often than not, they pursue careers in hacking and cybersecurity. Have you ever seen the movie Catch Me If You Can? It's kind of like that. It was all right. Anyway, that wraps it up for video number 15. Again, my name is Chris. Next is video 16. Video 16 is going to cover things like social engineering and the program's practices, processes, and procedures that apply to information technology environments. I really want to watch Catch Me If You Can again. I don't know why.